Hey,
Hi, how's everybody
Hey,
doing?
wonderful.
good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Wonderful. So, are we ready to for our first, or is this our second actually? Our second kind of get together with people since we're not having our 2020 Expo, and we committed. We're going to come to you guys with different topics and presentations. So, we're really excited about tonight. Let me introduce myself. My name is Kelly Eubanks, and I'm one of the co-founders of the Twin Cities Natural Hair and Beauty Expo.
I'm Tiffany Delaney. I'm another co-founder of the Twin Cities Natural Hair and Beauty Expo.
I'm Brianna Crest. I'm the owner of Gorgeous Looks Salon and part of the planning committee for the Twin Cities Natural Hair and Beauty Expo.
And our special guest tonight is a brave volunteer. Her name is Corean Green. Welcome, Corean. Corean,
Yes, thank you for having me.
she was a brave individual who did a big chop at our 2019 expo, and the cut was done by Zach Smith of Reflections, and he was our premier sponsor for the men's corner. And so Corinne got the big chop. We wanted to follow up with her and just see how that felt going through that process and just to share it with everyone. So we'll just kind of get into Corinne's mind. So can you tell us a little bit, Corinne, about that experience of going through the big chop?
Well, going through the big chop on stage, it definitely was scary. I'm pretty much kind of a shy person, so being in front of a big crowd was a lot, and then everyone was swarming around, so I was getting nervous. And then the first song that they decided to play was OT the Jennings Cut It. So I was like, oh, this is real. Like, this
Right.
I came back out now. And Zach, he did a really good job. He started picking my hair out at first, and he was trying to be like lightheaded. I'm like, listen, you better get into the naps because hey, like, we're not tender-headed over here. But it was honestly like a really good experience, and it just really pushed me more into my natural hair journey to just learn more about like different textures, to learn what products really work and what products don't work. And it's been a one crazy journey, I must say.
Wow. Do you feel like after you got the big chop and then you started using the products and learning your hair again, because you were natural before. So did you feel like your hair was healthier after the big chop?
Yes, definitely. The main reason why I definitely wanted to get the big chop was because I had dyed my hair and that messed up my hair completely. So getting the big chop, it got like most of the dyed hair away. Learning my hair, it was hard because my hair, it got way kinkier than what it was because it was so damaged. So I had to learn about a whole new hair texture, and I'm just like, I did not know it was this deep. I thought it was just my natural hair texture and that was it, but it definitely goes way beyond.
Wow. You went natural because when you lighten your hair, you know, that loosens your curl pattern. Like, you know, a lot of people don't know that does alter the natural pattern, natural wave pattern. So you learned your hair completely all over again from virgin hair.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when that hair came in there and it was.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I'm not used to like these real kinky curls in the court. I'm like, oh no, it's gonna take extra work now.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is it now? How is your hair? Has it grown? Has it been growing regularly? And how is the curl pattern now?
So right now I am a 4B, 4C curl pattern. In different parts of my head, it's differently. My hair is actually to my shoulders now, which I'm so happy about. Wow. So it's definitely been growing. One thing that I had to learn was to stop touching it. Because in the beginning, I'm trying to figure out different styles to do, especially like having a TWA. For people who don't know, that's teeny weeny afro. It's like you got to really figure out what type of styles works for your head shape, because what works for somebody else will look crazy on you sometimes. Absolutely. So I just had to really just stopped touching my hair for a few months until it grew an inch. And then I'm like, okay, let me just keep it in braids, keep it in protective styles. So that's definitely something that helped my hair grow a lot.
Yeah, because I have a peanut shaped head. So if I were to big chop, I would look like Planter's peanut.
And you know my juicy head, I am not doing a teeny weeny cut. Sorry, not gonna work for me. She got the perfect
it was
shape.
hard at first because it was
I like the
just
shortcut.
the styles were just, I kept trying to do these styles that fit different shaped heads, and I'm like, why is it not coming out right? Then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw a wig on until it grows enough, and that's exactly what I had to do.
Well, it's fire tonight. Your hair looks
I know this is the first time trying feed-in braids for my hair. And I was nervous because I'm like, okay, my hair is a nice length, but I don't want nobody messing up my edges. Not braiding it too tight because it is still pretty short. Yeah. So, yeah.
Now, let me say this, you guys, because this is crazy. But yesterday was wash day for me. And I tried the sea moss in my hair for the first time.
Oh, you did?
Sea moss in there, and I let it sit with a little bit of steam, you know, trying to get all those nutrients in. But anyway, 12 hours later, after my long day of regimens, right, you know, my hair still, once it completely dried, it still felt dry. And I mean, I did everything, and I have that, you know, I have that hair. The water can be on it for 20 minutes before it feels wet, but it still felt dry. Brianna, you are the stylist here. What in the world could I do to make my hair feel moisture? Because I'm not gonna lie, I just went back to the grease, to hair grease, and I just greased my scalp. When it was all said and done, I just greased my scalp last night, and I made sure I put some grease on my actual hair because it had to be something very heavy for my hair to even feel like it wasn't like wiry.
Okay, so you have low porosity hair.
Yes.
Your hair is the kind that once you get it wet, the water is gonna roll right off of it until it gets, you know, it just takes a while for that cuticle to lift. For low porosity hair, which tends to be, it can be any texture. It doesn't always have to be 4C. It doesn't always have to be 4B or, you know, all the C's. It doesn't, that's not always low porosity hair.
Because I got low porosity.
Yeah, you know, it can be any curl pattern and you can have low porosity. It's just that your cuticle is sealed. It takes a lot for it to lift. So color probably takes a little while to process and to penetrate for you. So what I recommend for low porosity hair when you're doing treatments, warmth. Whether it's warm water, steam, those are things that are going to penetrate that cuticle, lift that cuticle. You can do a makeshift steam treatment at home.
Yeah, that's what I did. I put a plastic bag on my head and I went and I stood in the sun for like an hour.
So you gave yourself.
So what I recommend is taking a hot towel, a hot wet towel, and whatever hydrating conditioner. So your hair is, you know, it's already wet, shampooed, you know, hydrating conditioner, something thick, creamy. Take the hot wet towel, wrap it around your head, put a plastic cap over it. So
on top of the hot wet towel. I was almost there with the plastic cap.
Almost there. You need that extra, you know.
Yeah.
You need that extra steam. It'll just kind of it'll open it up. It'll open up your cuticle. If you had a hooded dryer, I would have recommended sitting under the dryer with the towel, plastic cap, and then just letting it do what it does. It'll open up that cuticle. It'll get the hydration in there from the hydrating conditioner. Low porosity hair. Your hair is already, I mean, it's strong. And so it just feels like just nothing gets in there. You know
it's stubborn.
what I mean? Like
it's stubborn.
Yeah.
So Bree, would you say that for some low porosity folks, if they're having like big challenges getting the moisture in or their cuticles to open, would you recommend a steamer? Because steamers that steam really gets in and maybe opens up
Yes,
cuticles
that's
sooner to
actually,
get that stuff in there, right?
yeah. I mean, pretty much the regimen I gave is for if you don't have a steamer.
Gotcha.
So if you have not invested in a steamer, that is a makeshift steam treatment that you can do with the
Yeah.
towel. Yeah.
But like
But
I
a
said,
steamer,
I sat in the sun because the sun was really bright yesterday. So I
mhm.
put the plastic cap on and I sat in the sun. But when I came back in the house, I was really tan. Don't know if it worked or not, but I was steaming hot outside. So,
Right.
whatever works. You got to use what you have in the COVID, and all I had was the sun. I ordered a steamer. It has not arrived yet. So I just had the sun. Was that a good idea?
I wouldn't say it's a bad idea. No.
Yeah.
What products do you use? Was your hair freshly?
Well, I
Yeah,
sat
you
in
said
the
it was washed.
sun. Like I said, I did the sea moss. So what I did was I mixed a little of the sea moss with my conditioner, which is a heavy cream, hydrating conditioner. And so I mixed that and then I sat in the sun and I had the bag on and I had a thick, it wasn't a super thin bag. It was a bag that's kind of made for, sealing in the moisture. But anyway, I don't know if it worked. Like I said, I came in and I was about 2 shades darker.
So what would you say then, Bree? Because it seems like through COVID, a lot of us have had to be, inside a lot, whether it's been inside our home. Some people have been able to go to work, some not, but we're confined. And so I don't know if, that has any impact on our hair. Is it drier because we're inside more or not? I mean, I don't know. What are some recommendations just being inside or overall, healthcare that we should be, following? Because you know what? I would also say this time people are under a lot of stress.
Yes.
And the stress, has so much impact on the hair too. I have a friend that whenever she gets stressed out, she goes bald, her hair falls out, in the middle. And so with everything that's going on and being inside and the stress, are there any recommendations or treatments that we should be doing?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I'm glad that you did mention the stress factor, the stress part of it. And that's one thing during a consultation when I have a client who comes in and sits in a chair and they're mentioning the very same things, like my hair is brittle, my hair is dry, my hair is it just doesn't seem to have body or life, or, I do ask, or if they're just saying like my hair has been shedding a lot. I'll ask, is it full strands or is it little broken pieces? Because there's a difference between shedding and breakage. So if they're saying they're experiencing a lot of shedding, that's when I go into the internal, because that's coming directly from the scalp, directly from the root. Why is your hair falling out at the root? So that's when we want to go internally. And then I'll recommend, like, okay, during times of stress, and we've all had a year. So during times of stress, and in just within building our immunity, I say go towards a B complex. Firstly, because I know of people who they don't take any vitamins at all. They don't have a balanced diet, but they'll take a biotin pill. And that,
yeah.
that's not necessarily, you want to make sure you're taking a multivitamin. You're covering all your bases, because all of our nutrients go towards our vitals first, our vital organs first, and then just whatever is left over goes towards hair, skin, and nails. But our nutrients of what we take in, what we eat, it goes towards, you know, our main vitals first. So you want to take a multivitamin to make sure we're not depleted in any area first. Then you can add on a hair, skin, and nail vitamin to just kind of give a little boost. If you're finding that, okay, this is just evening me out, like if the multivitamin is just getting you level, you're getting more energy, you're feeling better, great. Now add the hair, skin, and nails to give you that boost for your hair. That's when you can add the biotin. That's when you can, you know what I mean? That will help from the inside out, water intake, all of that good stuff. Now, as far as breakage goes, I have seen all kinds of reasons for breakage since the return to the salons. Quarantine time is over. The quarantine hair I have seen has been people taking matters into their own hands, doing their own color, doing rice water treatments, not knowing.
I've seen a lot of people are doing that now. That they're doing that for protein, right?
That is a strong. That's a high level of protein. So
right.
I'm not saying I'm against rice water, but if you don't know the structure of protein, you can do more damage than good.
Yeah.
So you know, there's protein is good for when you have when your hair is breaking. When you have breakage, protein will stop that, but too much protein will just cause the breakage all over again. That's when it's brittle. You have to counter it with moisture and hydration. So when you do, I say, me personally, my recommendation for home use, no protein. Wait until you're going to a salon. Like this is my recommendation based on someone that probably has like a regular stylist that they see.
Right.
So I say leave that for the professionals, because you can do a lot of damage with protein and home use. There needs to be a time between protein treatments.
Yeah.
That's good information.
Yeah.
Because I was just about to do a mayonnaise treatment.
Yeah. Yeah, mayonnaise is good. The mayonnaise and the eggs.
I was gonna get a mayonnaise and egg.
Yep. Yogurt, Coke. I know a lot of people do their little.
So I just play with my hair.
Remedy once a month.
Mayonnaise once a month?
I say once a month, no sooner than that. Because a lot of times, people are shampooing their hair every 2 weeks or every week. If you have a short, teeny weeny fro, you're probably getting it wet every day to every 3 days. So that can be a lot, if you're trying to do treatments each and every time. So I say the heavy duty, the deep treatments, when you're wanting to do those natural proteins, try to do that as less frequently as often, and try to do more moisture and hydration.
Okay.
So for low porosity, when it comes to shampooing, because now that you guys have just been talking about it, I'm like, yo, I have low porosity hair too, because it's so dry now. So what do you recommend as far as shampoos? Because every time I shampoo my hair, it doesn't matter if it says deep moisture or anything. I feel like my hair is just stripped of all of its moisture. So what would you recommend?
You may actually have to jumpstart it and just do a clarifying treatment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Use a clarifying shampoo to start. Give it a fresh slate. You're cleansing your hair from any residue, because residue can give us, residue from hair products can weigh our hair down as well. It can weigh our hair down. It can make our hair, it seems like it's clean, but it's like, I know I shampoo my hair 3 times, but it's still dull. That could be a film of residue. So clarifying it every now and then, maybe every 2 months, if you wash your if you wash your hair weekly, clarify it like once a month. If you're washing your hair probably every 2 weeks, you can go every couple months with clarifying. And that clarifying shampoo strips everything off. You're starting fresh. You have zero residue. It's squeaky clean.
Yeah,
they need a clarifying life cleaner.
Look, I will take that.
The same like coconut oil, pour it over my life.
Just
right.
You can strip it all. Everything's clean. Everything's new.
Get a reset.
Now you know.
You know what? We can save ourselves a lot of money with divorces and stuff. Just clarify. Let me just go buy a life clarifier.
Yeah, true. But you know what? I think that we probably, since we've been talking about it, we've been talking about porosity. So maybe you want to define porosity, Bree, because people's hair can still be quite dry because they have high porosity, because your moisture is just going through. And, you know, so we're sitting up talking about low porosity because I know that I have it. So my cuticles are, you know, are tight, and I got to put heat for them to open up and get my moisture in. But when you have that high porosity, them cuticles stay open. So you're putting all kinds of stuff in there, right? And then
that's like that spongy hair. Your hair feels spongy. And usually high porosity is been over processed. That's a lot of times where you'll find high porosity happening, and that is mostly when you want to use like a protein because it's weaker. So
is there medium porosity? Like
there's levels.
Like the normal.
There's normal porosity. That's just, and you gave a good example, and this is what they taught us in beauty school too. One time, Kelly, when you said just take a piece of your hair, take a cup of water, and if it sinks straight to the bottom, you got high porosity. If it stays at the top and does not, for what? How long? Like 5 minutes.
Couple minutes.
Yeah. If it does not sink at all, that's
clean hair.
I'm doing that tonight. I'm doing that tonight. Even though I know my hair, I know it's low porosity, but I'm going to do that because I've never done it. And that's a good, that's a really good analogy because, so what if your hair stays at the top? What do you do when you're washing your hair in the shower? I mean, what do you do? Because I just stand in there about 20 minutes until my hair finally realizes it's wet.
Well,
prior. You may have to do the hot towel first and, wrap it around your hair, get your body washed and all that stuff, and then take it off and then wet it and shampoo it. You may have to do that.
Oh, okay.
Get the cuticle open.
And sometimes you gotta press that water in that hair, because you gotta give it some help. Like it depends on how much time you got too, to get that water in. But yeah, that porosity test, it's good. So again, a reminder for folks who may not know, you're gonna take a glass of water, room temperature, let it be room temperature, and the hair, it should be a clean strand of hair. And so you're going to put the strand of hair in that glass of water. And like Bree was saying, if that hair, and you got to wait at least 3 to 5 minutes, at least. And if that strand of hair sinks to the bottom, then you have high porosity hair. That means your cuticle, it stays open. So that means you're putting moisture and everything in. It's just going through. So you might, I don't know, you might want to use heavier products, who knows, but you want to learn your porosity because then that helps you identify different products. And then again, for like me and Tiffany and Corean, we said that we have low porosity hair. So when that a strand of hair floats on the top, after 5-10 minutes, it's still floating.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you have low porosity hair. It's tight. So you got to do some heat to open it up. And then for those folks who've got that medium porosity, which I don't want to say normal, but do you say medium or do you say normal?
Medium.
Yeah. So, right. So then you'll know that that's how it is. So if you guys do that porosity test, please post it on our page. Let us know how that test went, if you're high porosity, low porosity. So try that test and let us know on Twin Cities Natural Hair and Beauty Expo page on Facebook.
High porosity hair, you'll find that when you're shampooing, all it takes is a light conditioner to just run it through. You don't even need to let it sit for a long time. It should be like, it's going to absorb within 3 minutes. That's for high porosity when you're conditioning. Medium, I would say that's, do your deep treatments every, you can go every other wash. If you use heat, then you want to do it with every wash. But that low porosity, you're gonna need a lot of warm, wet heat in order to get that to open up. So use your creams, and you definitely want to do the deep treatments every time, hydrating deep treatments every time.
So let me ask you this, Brianna, because I don't know about everybody else, but in the COVID, scissors, they're my friend. So when I am getting those tangles or those knots, baby, I don't have the time to work that knot out right about now. Even though I ain't got nothing but time on my hands, I have a little less patience, right? So scissors are my friend, and I just cut that knot out. And I don't know if I'm cutting it even or anything like that. Also, another thing that I do is I'll plait my hair after I wash it. Sometimes I'll plait it, and then I'll take the scissors and chop off the end.
Ooh.
And the reason I do that is because I'm not in the shop, so I'm not being able to get those ends trimmed. So when I plait it and I see that they're all kind of scraggly at that end, they look raggedy, I just chop the end off up until it's, so I know that it's probably not what I should be doing. But I would like for you to, I'm one of those clients that when I come to the shop, you got to be the fixer. But I do want to speak to that because I have been hearing, no, seriously, ladies, I've been hearing a lot of women talk about scissors during this COVID. I see some sisters that just did their own big chop because you just don't feel like dealing with the hair, and you feel like nobody's going to see you anyway. You bored in the house bored, you just cut your hair out.
That's been a lot. I've seen that a lot. And I'm not hating on anybody who knows the value in a good trim. Whether you're doing it yourself, because to me, like, that's like trimming those ends is just like, it's one of those things. As Black women, our hair just is the most fragile, and it will break off faster than it grows. So if you're trimming those ends, good. Like, okay, maybe uneven. You may be a little, pouty face when you come in and you got to get it cut evenly, and you're like, dang, I just got it to grow. It's like, but boo-boo, you was cutting while your head was tilted, so it was longer on this side.
Right. But you got that asymmetrical going.
Yeah, you got the salt and pepper going. But I like, trims are invaluable. They are great. That's one thing that I can say I have had to do less convincing of for people coming back into the salon, because they know they need the works. So they've been coming in like, all right, I know I usually fight about my trims, but it's been 3 months, it's been 4 months, it's been 5 months. Just take what needs to go. Because at the end of the day, you can hang on to the length, your hair is gonna grow, but if you have horrible ends, it's gonna just break off faster. So nobody's, and our hair does grow. Contrary to popular belief, you know, our hair grows. It just, you know, we just need to stay on top of the trim so that we can retain that length as it's growing out.
So I'm doing a good deed
That's
by
not
plaiting it and
bad
just
at
cutting
all.
off the ends, because the ends, they mess with your plaits when you're taking them down anyway, because that's how you get the tangles. That's why I just cut them little shabby raggedy ends off, and when I take them down, it's so smooth. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're doing good.
I don't know about when I'm just going in and I'm tired of trying to detangle. Then I just cut that little knot out. Now I will do that too. Now I know I'm doing wrong when I'm doing that. You know what I mean? It's like I'm like, Tef, okay, that's not what's up. But them ends, I was kind of unsure if I was doing the right thing. So I'm glad to know that I'm taking care of my ends the best way I know how.
Yes.
So before we get off, Bree, do you have any other special tips for us? We want to, you know, honor our participants watching and engaging with us. So we want to give them a little bit more information before we give up the time.
Well, this was going to be like the Q&A time, but instead I'll just kind of recap on what we've talked about.
Okay.
Just with stress being a factor for many of us during this time, self-care, but making sure our vitamin levels aren't depleted, have not gone depleted. So a multivitamin during this time works wonders for our immunity. It replenishes our vitals, and you know, it just gets us back on track. A B complex vitamin is specifically for stress. When we're stressed out, our body is depleted of B vitamins. That, and what else did we talk about? Protein.
Now, a B vitamin in addition to the multivitamin?
It can be.
Can you overdose on vitamins?
You can. You actually can. Your liver will be working really hard. your liver. You don't want to get your liver to be, you know, going overboard. Right. Yeah. But I say either a B complex or a multivitamin.
Okay.
Because if you take the hair, skin, and nails as well, you can just do your B complex, hair, skin, and nail. You're good. Make sure you're good on your vitamin D, you know, all of that. Those are my vitamins. I didn't get into the minerals. That's when you get into that's a completely different, you know. But yeah, those are interchangeable. You can do a B complex plus a hair, skin, and nail vitamin. Add a vitamin D on there. Bam, you're good. And then for the porosity, the low, medium, and high porosity hair levels, doing your strand test to find out what your porosity level is. A lot of times chemically processed hair, whether it's with color or texture altering chemicals like relaxers or curly curls, they tend to be high porosity. And that's when you do have to do a lot of reconstructing for that hair types. The hair can be high porosity too, just like if it's thin, if you have thin hair. But if it's high due to chemicals, that's when you want to do, you can do more of you can do rice water treatments, but do not go overboard. I say once every season with protein, every 12 weeks protein. And that's across the board, every 12 weeks protein, no matter what your porosity level is. And the makeshift steam treatment, if you do not have a steamer at home, it's good to, and if you have low porosity and it doesn't open up, your cuticle doesn't open up, shampooing your hair once, use a clarifying shampoo, wrap it in a towel, a hot, wet towel. Take your shower, put a classic cap on, take your shower, get washed, then take the cap off, shampoo your hair, and you will see that your hair will just be, it'll just say, okay, finally.
I know, right?
You can have your way.
Right.
Yeah.
What else? What else?
That was good. That was good information.
Yeah.
And I hope that was helpful. And Corinne, we want to say thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, your bravery up on that stage. Huh?
I said I can't wait to rewatch it and write down everything.
Right.
Now, let me ask you, Corinne, would you recommend? Now, you did the big chop a year ago, right? And well, it'll be a year in August. And you said your hair's to your shoulders now. Would you recommend that to people? From a person who's done it to a person who's thinking about it.
Yes.
What would be your tips?
I definitely would recommend it. It's just everyone's hair grows at a different time measurement. So definitely letting people know, like, your hair might not reach your shoulders like how mine is. Yours might reach longer, or it might be a little shorter, because it just depends on how you're taking care of your hair.
Yes.
So, like, being patient is definitely number one, because that was hard for me in the beginning.
Yeah.
I felt like I was trying to get the ruler to measure these little centimeters, and it was just making me, like, so sad. But just being patient, that's definitely, like, that's number one. Got to value that one. And then also just learning to leave your hair alone and just letting it do its thing. Just getting those protective styles. Touching your hair all the time is not going to help it grow.
Good advice.
Well, I thought if you stimulate your scalp.
Yeah. I mean, when you're watching it, that's different. But if you just trying to do all these, like, little twist outs and stuff every day, it's like, it's not going to help. You're going to keep getting, like, the little split ends and all that type of stuff. You're going to start over processing your hair.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's good.
Well, this is fun, ladies.
Come into play. That's when the trims come into play.
Yeah. The scissors.
Yes, your hair will be more manageable as well. Less knotting, it's easier to detangle when you have the clean ends.
Yeah, I'm definitely due for a trim. After I take these down, I'm gonna have to. I don't think I can do it myself, because I might end up cutting too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't do that, because sometimes I'll trim, and sometimes I'll have 3-4 inches in my hand, like, oh.
Yeah, look, why did I do that?
I went a little overboard, but that's okay. That's okay. Well, this has been so much fun, ladies. We will be here live every other Tuesday. So you can catch us in 2 weeks. And if there is a topic that you would like for us to talk about on the Twin Cities Natural Hair and Beauty Expo Live, please give us your feedback. Let us know. We'd love to chat with you.
Yes.
We're going to have a lot of guests, as we talked about before. Going to have a lot of guests. Our next show, we're going to spotlight one of our vendors that vended with us last year and had already signed up to vend with us this upcoming year that was canceled due to COVID. But we're going to spotlight that vendor. They're going to have their products out, so be prepared to shop. You can send her Cash App or PayPal or however she tells you. You can purchase your items. You will be able to purchase from that vendor. So that is in 2 weeks. So what's that date? Is that the 29th? Let me see. Let's get a date here. That's the 28th. No, that's not the 28th. That's the 4th. That's August 4th. The 28th is next week. So August 4th, we'll be right back at you. And that time we will not have these complications. We'll have that figured out. So it will be a live event, and we will be doing a vendor showcase and spotlight. 7 o'clock, we'll be on Instagram and Facebook.
So thank you. Give us feedback. We're looking forward to it.
Definitely.
Shameless plug. I was also a vendor at the Natural Hair and Beauty Expo.
No plug is shameless, honey. No plug is shameless.
So this is Resilience Hair Oil. It is available on www.resiliencehaircare.com. It's healing care for your hair, creates a foundation for healthy hair growth by nourishing your scalp, eliminating dandruff and dry, flaky, itchy skin. So it's good for your hair, skin, good for treatments. It has a dropper top. So if you have braids or some type of protective style, the dropper allows you to get the oil in between those braids and get through to your scalp. And it helps just heal and mend.
Yay!
Yes, and Resilience is thick too. I like it because it's thick. Now, when I put that on my hair, my dry hair, I can actually feel some penetration when I use Resilience hair oil. So I love that stuff.
Yay! Awesome. All right, ladies, I guess that's it. It was really fun talking with you guys and seeing you guys.
Yes.
So until next week. Ciao.
Be safe. Wear your mask, you guys. We need to kind of flatten this thing. Let's follow the science, man. We don't have time for conspiracy theories right now.
That's right.
We're losing people in record numbers. So follow the science so we can be done with this thing and we can get back to our normal lives.
Yes.
All right.
Well, our new normal.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Twin Cities.
Bye-bye.